Y bueno, gente, bienvenidos a un nuevo video más de la campaña de Dragon Age de Veilguard. Vamos a continuar con la misión de lo de... ¿cuál era? De los recuerdos de Solas. Porque pues ya averigüé que sí son todos aquí, que no tengo que buscar nada. Así que simplemente vamos a ir viendo todos los que se puedan. Porque aquí está el otro.
You dare to try to cage us, jealous of our growing power!
You will pay the final price for this betrayal.
We warned you not to use the Blight. For this, and for Mathol, I sentence you to sleep in exile ever after. Your own lives will form the veil that keeps the horror you unleashed at bay.
So he locked the gods away and created a veil between this world and the Fade. I mean, they were terrible, no question. But what he did, it didn't just stop them. It destroyed our culture, our world.
It wasn't just to stop them. It was to stop the Blight. We've seen how bad Elgar'nan and Gillenane are. Imagine all 7 corrupted gods running wild.
So he created the Veil just to keep the elven gods locked in their prison?
Yes, to keep them from accessing the Fade. But was the creation of the Veil around the world an accident?
You heard him yelling. That's not the sound of a ritual going right.
What do you think, Rook?
I think this memory's one we understand, at least. What he did makes sense. Him regretting it also makes sense.
I had another question, and I'm sorry, maybe this doesn't matter, but Solus trapped the blighted gods in an ancient elven building, right?
That's what it looks like. Maybe a palace? Fancier than what I've seen in Arlethan, at least.
And then, the Magisters were lured into the Fade. They broke in, which let the Blight escape, and turned the Golden City black.
Right, and the Black City hangs in the Fade, a little reminder of their mistakes. What's wrong, Lace?
It's just... the Chant of Light says that the Maker built for them the Golden City, the center of all creation. But if the Golden City was an ancient elven palace, then the Maker didn't build it. The elves did. The Chant of Light is Andraste's visions from the Maker, but it sounds like it's wrong.
You're asking if we just disproved the entire Andrastian faith.
Did we?
The Maker was never my faith, Lace, but I don't think you have to give it up.
But what they taught us was just wrong. What if the Maker just doesn't exist?
The Chant of Light might be wrong, but it's been made and changed by people over 1,000 years.
There was a whole verse about an elf named Shartan, and the Chantry just cut it out.
So maybe the Golden City was meant as a metaphor, or maybe it was added because of politics. That might change the history, but it doesn't have to change your whole faith.
The Dalish clans are struggling with the same thing. What do we keep? What do we lose?
The elven gods, the Maker. No matter who you light a candle to, you've got some hard questions to ask yourself right now.
Doctrine is not the truth. It is one of many paths to the truth.
I recognize the sentiment, though not the specific quote. Who said that?
My mother.
Ah.
Questions of faith aside, we have some very real gods that still need killing.
Looks like there are 3 more of these murals with the Dreadwolf's old memories. Wonder what else he's hiding.
Sí, es que el tema de la fe, gente, puede ser muy complicado. Por ejemplo, yo que pues yo soy ateo, o sea, simplemente no creo que... Yo soy de los que piensan que pues fue en parte un accidente que estemos aquí todos, ¿no? Cayó un meteorito, las cosas se dieron y pues aquí estamos, miles de años después. Y años de evolución y todo eso nos han traído hasta donde estamos ahorita. Pero yo soy de los que creen que una vez que te mueres, ahí se acaba todo, o sea, no hay nada más. Yo, obviamente, si me preguntan, me gustaría creer, claro que me gustaría creer que que después de esta vida hay otro donde te reencuentres con tus seres queridos y todo. Pero una cosa es lo que me gustaría y otra cosa es lo que más seguro que es, al menos para mí, repito. Yo soy de los que siguen pensando que una vez que se acaba la vida, se acabó, güey, o sea, así es nuestra existencia, es efímera y pues ni modo. Pero pues bueno, sigamos checando esto.
You have so long observed the world. Why not consider joining it?
But I have no desire to live as humans. I have the Fade. Besides this talk of taking on a solid form, I think you underestimate the danger. When you took the glowing stone to build your body, did the earth not shake?
Delirium gives us the strength we had when we were of the Fade. We are the best of physical and spirit. I need your wisdom, Solus, to withstand the louder voices who would go too far like Elganon. I need you.
This is madness. You must know that. I will always follow where you go.
What?
This is astounding. The ancient elves were spirits who voluntarily manifested a physical form.
I'd rather go back to talking about the Blight.
Hey, Lucanus. Could Spite turn into an elf?
No.
Sorry, but... what?
We hid the truth for as long as we could, but... yeah. Balara Davrin and I have secretly been spirits this whole time.
Not funny.
I don't know. Sounds like something a rage demon would say.
You're going to confuse Tosh.
What? I wasn't listening. There weren't any dragons in this one.
To be clear, this memory only shows that the first elves originated from spirits. You three are no more spirits than anyone else conceived naturally.
Conceived naturally? Guess I'll go ask my mother.
The knowledge that an entire people were formed from a mass manifestation could change our entire understanding of magic.
If we let it out, is that the right call? Do you want bigoted humans yelling about how elves are demons?
Davrin's got a point. World's not short on small-minded humans.
The entire idea is preposterous. Who would even believe us?
It does seem outlandish when taken out of context, I admit.
We have to tell someone, though. Strife and Irulan, at least.
If I told Thea and Viago, they'd think I was sampling Viago's poison collection. No one will believe us.
Okay. We keep this to people we trust who have good reason to know. No shouting it from the rooftops.
Agreed. The Morn Watch has a great deal of experience keeping dangerous secrets.
So, beyond the world-shaking stuff, what else did we learn here? Solus himself was a spirit.
What kind do you think he was?
Well, his name is Elven for pride.
Oh, okay.
There's something else. Not about spirits, or not all about them at least. Solus didn't want to become a person with a physical body.
Right. He only agreed after Mathal begged him.
Then that's his regret. He wishes he'd never taken physical form.
Maybe, but not just that. Solus was scared. They built their bodies out of lyrium, and it made the ground shake.
You think the ground shaking was the Titans?
It makes sense, doesn't it? Something was hurting them, taking their blood.
So they struck back, like we'd swat a stinging bug.
The first memory we saw, with Elganon seizing power, it happened at the end of a war.
A war between the Titans and the Elves.
And we just saw how it started.
It feels like we still don't have the full picture. But I think that's part of what Solus regrets. He didn't see the danger.
Except he did. He was worried, you said it yourself.
He did it for Mythal. Everything that followed, he could have prevented, if he just told her no.
Then he's got a war on his conscience. Plus, whatever we find next.
Have you created what we need?
With this, the proper ritual will sunder every Titan from its spirit. But you must know those severed dreams will certainly be driven mad. A disembodied blight of pain and anger. It is awful what we're doing.
And the only way to end this war.
Solus made the weapon that killed the Titans. No, not killed. He cut away their dreams and left them broken and mindless. He passed me in the halls of Skyhold for a year. He made polite conversation, and he knew. He knew what he did.
Lace, what my people did to yours, that's unforgivable.
You don't need to apologize.
Well, someone should.
Our leaders attacked the Titans for their lyrium. Then, when the war turned against the Elves, our leaders did this.
And when the war was over, they enslaved your ancestors. No. Solus, Mythal, and Elgarnon are the ones who need to apologize.
To do such a thing. No wonder regret eats away at Solus.
No, it's worse than that. That isn't what Solus regrets. Those severed dreams will be driven mad. A disembodied blight of pain and anger.
Mierda.
You can't. That's not possible.
When a warden hears the calling, it's like a song in their mind. Sound familiar to you, Lace?
The song of lyrium. Of the Titans.
We think of the Blight as this monstrous force with no mercy, no compassion. Evil incarnate. Instead, it's a caged animal. Mistreated and imprisoned for centuries. Until all it knows is fear.
If the Blight is the Titan's dreams, can we, I don't know, heal it? Bring it back from all that anger?
I'm afraid I have no idea. In theory, it would be possible to restore dreams to the Titans.
You can't set it free before it's healed. You'd have blighted Titans laying waste to the entire world.
The Titans are a problem for later. We have Elgarnon and Ghilanane to deal with now.
And then I want Solus to look me in the eye and answer for what he did.
Each of these memories has been a deeper regret, and almost all of them involve Mythal.
Only one mural left to uncover by my count. If we find it, we'll see what's worse than this.
Y vamos por el último.
I knew that you would find me soon enough. You need the power of a god. The strength that I alone still carry.
The blighted Evanurists will soon break free from their prison. I must make a stronger one that can contain them.
While the prison is important, it is not the only goal you seek.
Why should I not tear down the veil and bring back immortality to all the elven people? They deserve it.
The elven people of today do not deserve to see the world they love be torn apart to salve your conscience.
I must fix what I have broken. I am sorry.
As am I, old friend.
Solus killed Mythal? After all that? Is this another memory from a different time?
No. He wore that same outfit in the Inquisition. We knew Solus woke up in this world without most of his power. Now we know how he got it back.
By killing the only other god around and stealing her power.
All that epic magic and godly power. In the end, it comes down to love and murder. Same as always.
Every big mistake Solus made is tied to Mythal. He sacrificed his life as a spirit to join her.
He sacrificed his morals when he created the dagger to stop the Titans.
When the other gods struck her down, he destroyed the Elven Empire to avenge her.
Then he wakes up in this world, where everything's gone but his mistakes. And there she is, alive.
And after all he's done, she sides against him again.
All these mistakes are his fault. And hers too. If she won't help him fix the world, of course he has to kill her.
So, how does everything we know help us now?
He's being honest about fighting the Blight. Whatever happens, he won't risk letting it back out into the world.
Agreed. But he has a plan to escape that prison, and not one we'll like.
He turned on Mythal, the one person he was actually loyal to. There's no way he won't turn on us.
He's a spirit, or was once. He might be able to possess someone, affect minds, all the things spirits do.
He created the veil. His very nature is tied to it. That will be a source of strength, but also a potential weakness.
Mythal has him all messed up. Anything about her or Elgernon is gonna make him angry. Sloppy.
Solus thinks he knows what's best for everyone. Anything he does, he'll do while telling himself he's the hero.
The bad news is that the god of lies and trickery is almost definitely preparing to betray us. The good news is that we've gone through his dirty laundry.
So, we know his motivations. You think we can set a trap of our own?
That's the hope.
You have witnessed the Protector's tale, Dweller, almost to its end.
Almost? How can there be more?
When the mighty fall, their echoes cross the ages. An audience is warranted. Speak with your visitor. She awaits you in the crossroads.
Supongo que esta chava, ¿no? Que mató Solas. Ash lo aprueba, Dave lo aprueba, todos lo aprueban. Reúnete con Morrigan en la encrucijada. Ahora sí, nada más quiero checar a ver si de puro churro cambió la apariencia. No. Entonces, a ver, necesito ir a la encrucijada. ¿Puedo hablar con alguien? Hablamos primero con Harding y de ahí ya vamos a ver a Morrigan.
Hey, Harding.
Oh, Rook, hi. Is there something you need?
You're upset?
But I'm not.
You've been sitting in here by yourself. It's Solus's memory, isn't it?
They stole Titan blood to walk the world like humans. And when the Titans didn't like that, they just took their spirits. Should I be angry or sad? Why aren't I angrier? It's a lot to handle.
This might be silly, but I'm sorry for what my gods did.
You're not them, and I'm not really the Titans. But thank you for saying that, Rook. It's strange. I don't hate Solus for this, even though a part of me thinks I should. I don't even want revenge. We have to stop him. Too much is at stake. We all know that. The Inquisitor, you. I know it's not about the past. It's about the future. But I just want to talk. As equals. I wonder if he's even capable. Solus was always distant. Guess it's hard to react when a magic rock's talking at you. Anyway, thanks for checking on me. I'll be all right.
I know. You're Lace Harding, child of Titans. You can handle anything.
Oh, shut up.
Ok, ya no tengo ninguna conversación con nadie. Vamos al mundo. Vamos a la encrucijada. Como siempre me voy a llevar a Nate. Y yo creo que aquí se lo merece Harding. Vamos. Déjenme checar algo rápido. No, es que sí sigue subiendo. Ya ven que les había comentado el tema de que a ver si ya no subía más de 8. No, sí sigue subiendo. Así que no me la puedo desequipar. ¿Ya son todos? Creo que ya. Ahora chécate el mapa, a ver dónde es. Ah, de hecho es aquí. Ahí está.
Well met.
How did you get here?
I did tell you I had my ways through Illuvians when I introduced you to the Inquisitor, did I not?
The Illuvians in general, yes, but not the Dreadwolf's crossroads.
I would think you have more pressing questions at the moment. Questions about Solus and Mythal?
Mythal?
The two gods have always been linked, have they not? First, when Mythal bade her companion spirit to abandon the Fade and take on mortal form. Then, when Solus spilled Mythal's mortal blood, that he might absorb her power as his own.
Wait. How do you know exactly what we saw of Solus's past?
Think upon it, Rook. You saw for yourself in the Dreadwolf's memories. When Mythal stood against the gods' manipulations of the Blight, she was betrayed and struck down. Yet she survived and returned ages later to aid the Inquisition in its hour of need. How?
The elven gods had access to magic beyond anything we can imagine.
To be sure, but it matters less what they possessed than what they were. You recall that the first elves were spirits, do you not? Mythal was a spirit turned elven. And when her body was struck down, to spirit she returned, her essence sheltered in a willing mortal vessel. Over the centuries she journeyed from host to host, slowly amassing her former power anew. Until once again she was struck down, on this occasion by Solus. He absorbed her power, but not her memories.
Then where did they... Wait. You?
As you say.
So, you're the next host of Mythal?
Believe it or not, as you choose.
What? That was like how Elganon and Gillenane can talk in your head, but...
'Twas Mythal you heard, her echoes. Yet I am not the goddess returned.
What are you then?
I once feared Mythal would consume me were I to carry her, but 'twas not so. I remain free-willed and mortal. What I now possess is but a spark of Mythal, shadowed memories through which to sift for meaning. As to our admixture, I suspect you have questions.
You would have met Solus in the Inquisition, right?
I did indeed. 'Twas before I possessed Mythal's memories. At the time, I thought Solus a scowling elven apostate whose sole passion was finding arguments. He heard me, in all my ignorance, expound on the histories of the elven people, explaining legends he had witnessed himself.
Bet he loved that.
'Tis not a memory that brings me pride.
How can you carry Mythal's soul if you're not an elf?
Her spark has sheltered within both elves and humans who were sympathetic to her in thought and circumstance. Mythal's last host was a woman wronged, trapped by those sworn to love her. We may readily imagine their kinship.
The fall of our civilization, the wars, everything elves went through. Where was Mythal for us then?
After the god's betrayal, she was a shadow of her former self, bereft of her power, slowly regaining her strength over the centuries. So she aided the elves as she could, speaking in dreams and offering counsel that ended blights and prevented wars.
At least now we know. So, there's the soul of an elven god inside you. How does that even happen?
Mythal's last host was my mother, Flemeth.
Oh.
When I learned she intended me to become the next receptacle of an ancient god's soul, I feared naught would be left of my own. It inevitably came to pass on a deep night. I was awakened by the presence of a blaze of magic in the shape of a woman who both was and was not my mother.
Wow. You woke up to a god floating over you.
'Twas a state between dream and wakefulness where strange things may happen to the spirit. Mythal's memories were both gift and burden, this blazing woman told me. But I must accept them of my own accord. The decision was paralyzing. What would it mean to become such a host? What would be lost if I refused? In the end, 'twas something in my mother's voice which guided me.
What was that?
Regret. Not the regret of a god, but of a mother who knew she would never see me again. And so, my mind remains my own. What I gained was knowledge, both Mythal's and of those who bore her.
Do you have information we can use against Gillenane or Elganon? Or Solus?
The last time Mythal faced Elganon and Gillenane, she was struck down by the very dagger you now carry.
What about Solus?
You may recall he murdered Mythal's former host to claim her godly might as his own. I hoard no untapped magical secrets, Rook. What I do possess, I share freely with you and the Veil Jumpers.
All right. You didn't come out here just to tell me you're Mythal.
I am not Mythal in her entirety, but yes, the Dreadwolf has occasion to visit you in dreams, where he portions out advice. And now, after finding his memories, you have peered into his deepest sorrows. Tell me then, what do you make of Solus?
I should ask you. Mythal knew Solus better than anyone.
I would influence your answer. Or do you mean to discover if I would stand directly against the Dread Wolf, were there a need?
Would you?
I shall aid you in any way but that, even had I the power. What has passed between Solus and Mythal, I beg you, do not ask this of me again.
Solus talks a lot about what has to be done, being forced to make hard choices. But it's like he's trying to talk himself into it. I think, deep down, he doesn't entirely believe what he's saying.
'Tis exactly like the old wolf to tie himself into the most intricate knots. 'Tis not malice which made Solus your opponent, but conviction, a belief that only he may halt what he set in motion. Yet Solus was once beloved of Mythal. 'Tis his very loyalty and love for his people that led to the tragedy we now face. You may be in a position to determine how it ends, more so than either of you might realize.
Maybe there's a way we all get what we want.
Do you truly believe such a thing?
Well, maybe at least what we deserve.
If you would shape the outcome of your battle, I've one last secret to share. When Mythal was struck down by the other gods, it was with her own lyrium dagger, the dagger you now carry. Solus recovered it from Elganon, and from it extracted a fragment of Mythal that had lain hidden within its depths. This fragment, a younger sister to the one I carry, if you will, resides here, in the crossroads. I can open the way for you. Find her, survive the encounter, and the essence you obtain will aid you in times to come.
Another fragment of Mythal? In addition to the one inside you?
You are aware of what the word fragment means, are you not? One small piece of many, formed when something greater is broken. The first elves were spirits, as you well know, and when a spirit is broken, it may shatter into pieces, each holding part of the original. Among the ancient elves who became known as gods, Dirthaman and his brother, Falondine, are but one example.
I'll survive. What do I need to know?
You know Solus, and have seen Elganon, and memories of Mythal. They are creatures of emotion, as all spirits are. The fragment of Mythal that resides in me lived among mortals for thousands of years. She has grown wiser and more patient. This younger sister has not. She is the essence of Mythal as a god. She is unlikely to listen to polite requests, and though she is but a fragment of the goddess, the battle will test you sorely.
If she's just going to attack us, why tell us about her at all? We have enough enemies already.
A fragment of a god's essence is a powerful thing. It may give you options against Elganon and Gillenane, or against the Dread Wolf himself, should he prove as cunning and treacherous as ever.
If I were to try to talk with her, do you have any suggestions?
She will demand respect, but detest flattery. She appreciates righteous anger, but will not tolerate pity. She is, for want of better phrasing, prickly. But if you are determined to try, then I wish you luck.
What kind of spirit was Mythal before she became an elf? I know Solus is Elven for pride.
Mythal enjoyed ruling and having power, but it came not from the overweening desire to crush resistance, as is the case with Elganon. The emotion that inspired her might best be described as benevolence, a guiding hand, inclined to kindness. But like any spirit, when angered or twisted against her purpose, a more violent aspect arose. Where the Dreadwolf's wisdom gave way to pride when the world did not meet his standards, Mythal's benevolence gave way to retribution. After all, when kindness fails, the guilty must be punished.
You would know this aspect of Mythal better than anyone. Could you try talking to her?
I dare say she would attack me on sight.
Spirits can't get along with fragments of each other.
Spirits, certainly. But the aspects of a self-righteous god who have walked different paths for ages? One bears the insult of her betrayal by the Evanuris, and then by Solus, as fresh wounds, insult upon injury. The other once fell in love with an Alamari chieftain and lived happily in a swamp for centuries. Each reminds the other that another path existed, that they could have been wrong, and nothing angers Mythal like being wrong.
Thank you for the information, Morrigan.
There is one more thing, if I may. Something whispered not by myself, but Mythal. The elves have learned many of the glories and horrors of ancient Elvenon. Yet your people live in this world now as the old elves never could. Know it as they could not. There is your strength. 'Tis why you shall surpass what came before one day.
Did Mythal see this? Is it a prediction?
A hope from a mother to her distant children, no less beloved than any before them.
Vamos a ver lo del fragmento.
A god's fragment, sharper than the whole, prevail, or be sundered completely.
We're getting close to where Morrigan said that other fragment of Mythal was.
Ok, perdón, es que estoy checando algo de acá, del OBS y ya. La chinga. Ah, arriba, sí, yo dije, ah, ¿cómo me marca aquí uno de esos? Las últimas palabras del traidor. La piedra cercana tiene marcas de unas garras colosales. Hay un mensaje en el suelo, grabado con mano temblorosa usando un diente roto. Me acusaron de traicionar a Fen Arel y me arrojaron desde las alturas. Declaré mi inocencia entonces y la declaro ahora, mientras me arrastro con las extremidades destrozadas, pero nadie me oye, así que me ofrezco para la ejecución que más satisfacción proporcionó a los dioses en su día, que el fuego limpie el nombre de Nunael. Vámonos.
That has to be her.
How should we do this, Rook? Do you think she'll talk to us?
Guess we'll find out.
You are Rook. I have seen you and your companions. I never again expected to see my children in the Dreadwolf's crossroads. And you know who I am.
Mythal.
The part of me that survived betrayal by the rest of the Evanuris, if this can be called surviving. Solus. He drew me from the dagger that struck me down, but what is left of me can only survive here.
I cannot return to the world, and even the true Fade is denied me. All I can do is watch. Have you come to seek the blessing of your god? Or did you come to ask your god to sacrifice herself to help you defeat the monsters Elganon and Gillenane have become?
I came here to ask for your help. The gods have endangered the world, and...
You dare explain to me what they are doing? You are 1,000 years from knowing the proper words.
We saw Solus's memories, his regrets.
You saw the recollection he cultivated like a tree, twisting to catch the sun. You wish for my help? Convince me. Make your case, and I will yield my essence willingly to help you against Elganon and Gillenane. Fail, and I shall kill you for wasting my time, or you will kill me and obtain my essence in doing so. A harder-edged, simpler version. It has been centuries since a petitioner stood before me, so why should I help you?
If I don't stop the gods, the whole world will be corrupted by the Blight.
That is why you must succeed, so tell me why I must help you.
We know the truth about the Blight. We know it came from the imprisoned dreams of the Titans after you and Solus defeated them.
And?
And the Blight only happened because of what you did. You need to fix your mistake.
My mistake? I saved lives and ended a war, you petulant child. Your words are weak. Prove your worth or
Puta
die.
madre. Otro dragón. Pues mi Pepe no la pude convencer. Vamos a tener que derrotarla.
Everyone get ready.
Right. Of course, she's a big dragon.
Nivel 45. Bueno, eres menos fuerte que el dragón de... ¡Ay, güey! Olvida lo que dije. Olvida lo que dije. Espérame. ¿Por qué no lo puedo marcar?
Move now. I'm good to go.
Gato.
Careful.
Don't stay there.
¿Otra vez? Ya casi, ya casi. Me coge la esencia. Ah, es que esta está acá. El cuerpo yo pensé que era ese. No me quisiste ayudar por las buenas, tuvo que ser por las malas.
We have it. The essence of Mythal, the protector. It burns just being near it. But this is the power we need to finish this.
True. Once we fit it into our plan.
I think the moment is coming. When we can turn the tide, we'll know.
Misión completada, Arrepentimientos del Lobo Terrible. El equipo derrotó al arrogante y furioso fragmento de Mythal, que lo confrontó en combate. Ahora tiene un recuerdo mágico, la semilla de su esencia, que quizás sea útil en un combate futuro. Gracias de Mythal. Un medallón que muestra el símbolo de Mythal. A su alrededor se puede ver la notación espectral de una canción que no se puede oír en este mundo. Dame algo bueno, porfa. Ok, un reflejo pálido. 20% de daño contra enemigos con salud baja. Ahora siempre se considera que los enemigos normales tienen la salud baja. No afecta a los jefes. Derrota a un enemigo, otorga un 5% de técnica definitiva. Sería quitármelo de 20%. Es que atascante daño a armaduras con técnicas aplastantes. Es que ya no uso ninguna técnica aplastante, así que a lo mejor esta sí la podría quitar. Obtienes 25 de furia al usar una técnica aplastante contra un enemigo con armadura. La técnica aplastante obtiene daño adicional. Este sí lo podría quitar, ¿por qué? Porque la única técnica aplastante que tenía hasta donde yo recuerdo era la que era el pisotón. Y como ya no uso ninguna de esas, creo que aquí sí ya me sería de ayuda esa. Porque sí, o sea, vean mis habilidades. El personaje, ninguna de estas es una técnica aplastante. Necrótico, igual necrótico, duración, debilidad. Ninguna de estas es una habilidad aplastante. Duración, necrótico. A ver, ¿dónde puedo checar lo de las? Ah, pero esas creo es en... A ver. Pata técnica. Pero ¿dónde dice? Ahí, tipo aplastante. Ahí dice, este era tipo aplastante. Y las que tengo no son aplastantes. Ese tipo zona y duración. Tipo asalto y duración. Tipo proyectil y duración. O sea, ninguna de las habilidades que tengo me serviría para eso. Físico. Y esta tampoco es aplastante. Así que creo que de momento que fue la mejor idea cambiarme esa, porque de hecho creo que esa habilidad no me estaba ayudando en nada, porque ya no uso ya ninguna habilidad aplastante. Así que de momento creo que ahorita sí fue lo mejor cambiarme esa habilidad. Bueno, veamos qué falta. Según esto ya solo me falta un cofre grande y la esta de la figura, pero supongo que esas también son que me las van a dar con alguna misión, porque ya no veo ninguna por aquí. Antes de irme, quiero checar lo de acá. Vale, pues otra misión completada, gente.
I've been learning more about the Lords of Fortune.
Have you?
What? They're our allies, and it's good to make friends.
There's not a Lord of Fortune I know who wouldn't like you.
Esta es la que traigo, ¿no? Tú mejorala. Ay, güey, la puedo mejorar más. Listo. El yermo, esa me da completamente igual. Estos también me dan igual. Listo. Vale, entonces según yo ahorita la que mejore fue la que traigo. ¿No? ¿No fue no mejoré esta? No, sí, ¿no? Según yo sí fue mejor esta ahorita. 15 de resistencia al daño necrótico, más 15 de daño necrótico. Los golpes críticos provocan necrosis y el objetivo a uno cuando se le provoca necrosis a un objetivo. Es que quiero meterle eso, pero creo que para eso necesito ya meterle el otro ataque. Los ataques ligeros ya no pierden efectividad frente a armaduras ni barreras. Que si lo vemos bien, creo que sí me conviene cambiarme de nuevo a este. Porque me da daño ligero, daño de salud, 15% de daño contra salud, 15% de daño base de ataque ligero según el poder de la afección de los cuervos antivanos. Luego los ataques ligeros ya no pierden efectividad frente a las armaduras ni barreras. Creo que por esa habilidad sí me convendría regresarme más al que traigo, Y es que la única ventaja que le veo al casco que traigo yo ahorita es lo de que puedo usar las técnicas sin preocuparme por los puntitos que cuestan. Porque así puedo usar las 3 de un jalón. Pero pues bueno, ya veremos, ¿vale? Entonces quedamos de misiones principales. O sea, bien de misiones ya solo me falta esta, que de todas maneras ahorita no la puedo activar. De misiones de acá, pues ya ahora sí ya solo me falta avanzar en la misión principal. Si checamos el mapa, pues aquí no hay nada que pueda hacer de momento. Aquí todo está lo que puedo acceder. No, y también me queda la duda, si hubiera convencido a esta chava, el fragmento se hubiera convertido también en esa estatuilla o hubiera ingresado en el cuerpo de mi personaje. No sé, o sea, me saca ahí un poco de onda. Aquí no sé si por haber hecho esta misión se me abrieron algunas misiones secundarias, no tengo ni la menor idea. O ahora sí ya nada más tengo que seguir avanzando a la misión principal y ya de ahí ver qué show. A ver, nada más quiero viajar aquí. Porque eso de excelente creo es nuevo, ¿no? A ver, vamos a ver. De por sí yo creo que este ya es el último capítulo que grabo hoy. Ah, no, es que necesito subirla. Me falta nada para poder subir de nivel esta madre. Vale, pues lo dejamos aquí, gente. Ya lo continuamos mañana. Nada más déjenme verificar una cosa. Porque... ¿sí cuenta? Sí, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hoy grabé 4 videos. Ya la continuaré hasta el domingo. Vale, gente, si nada más por el momento, pues ya, ahora sí parece y todo apunta a que mañana ya voy a continuar con la misión principal. Todo apunta a eso porque pues ya no tengo ninguna misión pendiente, se supone, y ahorita que pasé ahí por el mapa no me marca ninguna misión nueva aquí, o sea, no me marca ahí de misión secundaria disponible, me marca que todas están bien, así que ya nada más es cosa de venirme acá al faro, iniciar la misión con Dabrin, que ahora sí empezamos, ahora sí, a no ser que ahorita me aparezca una misión nueva. A ver, con estas no hay nada nuevo, nada nuevo, parece que ya. Perfectamente, ya mañana empezamos hablando con Dabrin. Vale, gente, sin nada más por el momento, espero que os haya gustado el capítulo del día de hoy. Saben que si os gustó, regálenme like, compartan el video, síganme en redes sociales. Y yo los estaré viendo el día de mañana con otro capítulo más de la campaña de Dragon Age de Veilguard. Así que bueno, gente, nos vemos.
Si te gustó el video, no te olvides de suscribirte al canal. Y si ya estás suscrito, no te olvides de picarle a la campanita de notificaciones para que te llegue una notificación cada vez que yo suba un nuevo video.